All right, guys, we're back for another trailer reaction. We've got the final trailer released for Ahsoka, when it starts. What is that? August 23rd, I think, is the drop date for the two
Yeah.
episode premiere.
How
So
many
that's coming up.
trailers are we gonna have for this?
They said this is the final trailer.
We have enough for our
But it's
trailer
the third. It's
park.
the third one. It feels like there's been nine, but
I know I
this
keep
is
getting
only the
told
third
each
one.
time. Is this last? Yeah, I'm sure this is the last one. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. We said that last time. We said, "Oh, this is the
Yeah.
final trailer," but this
I
apparently
mean,
is actually the final trailer. And it's actually titled Now or Never for whatever reason, but I guess we'll find out when we watch it. Anyway, we're gonna watch this video, react to it, and see what we think.
yeah.
All right, is everybody queued up and ready to go?
Do it. Do it.
Do it. All right, one, two,
Don't
three.
do it. Okay, do it.
Wah, wah. All right, one, two, three, play.
There's so few Jedi left.
Yeah, let's get it on.
Oh, it's red.
Multiply. The galaxy is not safe.
Oh, the klaxon,
Yeah.
I could use that.
Corellia.
It's now or never. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Hunt them down.
All of them.
Get ready. Ready.
Ahsoka, 2-episode premiere August 23rd, only on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Wow.
I found that initial reaction the least interesting of all of them.
It relied on a lot of the soundtrack and noise, the shoom 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 noises to get you
and the
excited.
cheesy one-liners. Ready,
Yeah.
ready. Even freaking Chopper does a fist bump or a fist, like, you're
Well, I
ready,
know, but
with his little droid arm. It's like,
isn't this
what are we
based on Power
watching?
Rangers though? I mean,
Yeah, it gave me a very strong Power Rangers.
it's the lost season of
Or
Power Rangers.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something. Expecting someone to say "Cowabunga, dude."
Well, what are
Wow.
they supposed to say? Are you ready? No, wait. They blow up or something. No, I'm not ready. Wait, no.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that was that.
it was too quick too. All the
No, yeah.
images were so rapidly edited. I'd need to go back.
We're
and
just
watch it again
seeing
and
we're
then-
seeing like seconds around the scenes we've already seen.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
keep showing the same, like, just instead of the Inquisitor fighting, we see the Inquisitor taking his thing off dramatically, like right before he fights her.
Right, before the scene we've already seen. Yeah, exactly.
Which I liked that because it reminded me of Kurosawa or something.
Yeah.
And I still
Right.
want to say that's Ezra, even though it probably takes place at the beginning, because she probably kills an Inquisitor before the timeline where she meets up with the Rebels sequel stuff.
Could be, yeah.
Because there
Yeah.
shouldn't be any Inquisitors around. I wouldn't think.
The Inquisitors should be gone, right?
Yeah.
Then Inquisitor may tell her, just wait till Thrawn gets his giant 28-inch biceps around you or whatever. And then she has to.
Well,
The-
speaking of Thrawn wasn't in there at all, right?
No, there was no
this
Thrawn
is
in
just
that
a Rebels.
trailer.
This was a Rebels hype.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, this is all Rebel hype. Yeah.
What about that scene when the magistrate activated something that looked like it was a map to the world?
It was like the
between worlds,
hologram of the world between worlds. I think it's like a map where they're trying to find that. That's what I'm kind of guessing is going on here. Because
Yeah.
they showed that kind of in the other one. The only thing that was different here is they showed that character whose name I always forget actually activating it. Like she put her hand over something,
The
and
magistrate,
suddenly it
yeah.
appears or whatever.
Okay, and so that would be on. Would this be on the Thal? It doesn't necessarily have to be. I mean, there would be other entrances to the world between worlds, right?
You would think. I'm not really sure how it works.
Because the Jedi temple where they entered it in the Rebels series was destroyed, or it did away with itself. Like it was
Right.
trying to block any means of entry. But it looked like part of it, like when Sabine was riding the speeder, like that looked like the freeways on Lothal from
Mhm.
Rebels. So it looks like some of it's going to take place there.
That could be. I was
Yeah,
thinking
some of it
Corellia.
does look like Lothal. You're right.
Yeah,
Looks like,
Lothal
especially
had a
the
lot of
speeder
assembly
bike
stuff,
scene
too.
with Sabine. Looks
Yeah.
like that's on Lothal.
yeah.
I was seeing all the parts in the background of the first scene. I was thinking Corellia because of all the. Looks like they're assembling stuff, but they assembled stuff on Lothal too.
True.
Well, it would
But
make
I was
sense
thinking it looked like
that's the only
Was it-
place, well, that we know of that the Empire, or now the remnants of the Empire, would know where an entry place to the world between worlds would be. So it
Right.
would make sense that they would go back there again to try to find a way to resurrect the Templar, or to
Yeah,
find
no,
the
I
why
agree.
would that magistrate character be involved with the World Between Worlds storyline though?
That's what I don't know. Unless she's, like I said, because apparently she's working with Thrawn, from
Why
a
with
distance,
Thrawn?
and maybe Thrawn's got something to do with that. Maybe he's learned about the world between worlds, and he's trying to gain
hold
access.
on. I'm rewatching Rebels, and I've just gotten to the point where they found the world between worlds, and Ezra brought Ahsoka back.
Mhm.
I can't remember the very end of the series where Ezra and Thrawn end up somewhere else in the galaxy. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got
Yeah.
they were on a ship with the Palugas or whatever, the space whales are all attached to it, and they have hyperspace
Belugas.
capabilities, and they just take their ship off into the nether
Okay,
regions
well,
of
maybe
space.
that's what they're trying to do. Are they trying to bring Thrawn back by
they're
accessing it,
trying
by
to-
using that as a conduit?
Well, it might be a combination. The dark side people are
Yeah.
trying to bring Thrawn back, and the rebels are trying to bring Ezra back.
How do we know
Yeah.
that hologram is the World Between Worlds? Does it bear
It
any
just- it looks
resemblance?
like
Sure
it.
look like
I
it.
think it looks, honestly,
Yeah.
what it looks like to me is like a star map or a chart, almost similar to
Yeah.
what they were looking for. Luke.
Well, how do
with,
we know they're not just
Force
bringing up a
Awakens.
map of the current situation, saying like the Republic owns all this, we're
Maybe
here.
they are, but I just have a feeling that the world
We
between
need
worlds has got
Thrawn
to
for
be a
this
central.
reason.
Yeah, but World Between Worlds has got to be a central key point here, I would assume, because it's actually part of the official logo for the show. Is that whole star field behind Ahsoka is the World Between Worlds thing, so
Mhm.
that they used it in Rebels. So I'm assuming that's
Well,
gonna
here's the
play a
thing,
major role.
that magistrate, we saw Ahsoka going to her to say, "Where is Thrawn?" So
Yeah.
she, for some reason, she thinks the magistrate works with Thrawn or worked with him last or might know where he is.
Right.
So maybe these characters are getting the same information from her, where to start looking for Thrawn, and so they get put on a collision course with Ahsoka by the magistrate or something. But we have
Yeah.
seen scenes where it looked like she was on a bridge with Thrawn, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or did they
Yeah,
just
Or
imply
she
that?
was on
yeah.
a bridge of a ship that we also saw him later on the
Correct.
bridge of.
Didn't we haven't necessarily put them together on that,
Yeah.
but it looks very similar. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, what about this is gonna sound weird, but there was a shot in that where it shows Hera in the cockpit. I guess it was of a ghost, I don't know. It was a cockpit of a ship, and there's someone else in the co-pilot seat beside her, but
Mm.
they're shown from the back and you can't see who it is.
You're obsessed with the child being
Yes.
there, right?
You're trying to see
Yes,
if
it's
it's
a
a
little
child.
bit
Yeah.
smaller
Aiden's
person, so I'm
child.
hoping it's the child.
I think it probably is. Yeah, I think it probably
Her
is. Why
Could
not?
son.
be.
I think it's her son.
Rebels don't have good daycare, evidently. You just got to bring the kid
You
along
just gotta take your kid to work day. Yeah.
and leave him with Din Djarin on whatever planet. Yeah, this thing's got to have some overarching plot to bring all these points together. So I wonder if, and it sounds like Harris trying to warn the Republic, we're seeing things out here that are implying there's a problem. So maybe it's trying to get proof to alert the New Republic that the Empire is rallied under Thrawn and that Thrawn is back. Then there's a subplot that involves what all the people with the lightsabers are after.
Yeah.
That coincides with Thrawn either seeing it as strategically important or something, or maybe I just
And
I
this
can't
would
figure out what
connect
the
it, that would
overarching
connect
plot's
it
gonna be.
further with Mandalorian. Because
Yeah.
you've already seen in the last season of Mando that you saw in remnants of the Empire getting together and talking about bringing back Thrawn. And Moff Gideon was kind of following his own agenda, but pretending
Right.
to belong to that. So maybe this kind of bringing the possibility of crossover make that a stronger
Um,
possibility in advance of this supposed movie that's coming out that's going to unite all the storylines.
Also, back in the original books, I think some of the battles and stuff had to do with strategic places like shipyards where resources would come from. And you see in these clips, they're building stuff behind Ahsoka, or there's parts everywhere. So I wonder if some of this conflict might be she's going onto a planet where stuff is being made and it's secretly being made for the Empire or something, and she's either trying to shut it down or expose it or follow this lead through to where the stuff is going.
Yeah.
Because they're implying the Empire is out there somewhere, or the Imperial Remnant, the different people, and they're getting resources from somewhere because they gave some guards and stuff to Gideon at the end of the and he requested more TIE fighters. So I wonder if
Sorry,
they'll bring
I'm
in that.
laughing, but I'm just thinking about the 10 jillion Star Destroyers that somehow show up
Yeah,
at the end
yeah,
of the
that's
sequel trilogy. So those things had to come from
supposed to be in the
somewhere.
same universe that it took 30 years to build the Death Star in.
Yeah.
Right.
But whatever. Yeah, it's like Krennic didn't know he no longer needed me. He has the 10 billion Sith acolytes who are such great engineers that they can build a Star Destroyer each, and they just can't find the up button. But
Oh,
but yeah, I wonder if like there'll be some plot like that, like something to fight over, that the Rebel fleet will show up or parts of the fleet, so that we'll get to see Thrawn's tactician side come out. Because there almost has to be like a mundane goal and a bigger goal for the Jedi. So it's like, I wonder if they'll be fighting over a planet where there's shipyards or something, so that the Empire can replenish their fleet, and cut off some of the Republic's cruisers and stuff like that.
Tell me this. I haven't read all the Thrawn books, like the original ones from what's now the Legend series, but I read like the beginning of the first one, and there was like a fallen Jedi Knight in it who had given up the Jedi Order, and he was using the Force to help Thrawn.
mhm.
Or you think maybe
Right.
that's what these new guys with the orange lightsabers are? Or
Maybe they're trying to find that ability or
Yeah.
something that will let them focus their ability to that, because in the books, that guy used the Emperor's power. He said, do you think it's a coincidence that as soon as the Emperor died, all these ships went to hell, like all the tactical stuff went to hell? So Thrawn recruited him to use his Force power to somehow allow the Imperial fleets and stuff to focus better and communicate better between them or something. I never liked it. I thought it was a dumb kind of Force power myself, and I didn't really understand what it was about. But as long as he was there alive and focused on them bringing the dark side energy to the fleet or whatever, they had an advantage. And that's what he said that Thrawn figured out the Emperor used to do, is he would somehow bring dark, I think, is that right?
I
Brilliant.
think
Remember that?
I just recently heard the beginning of that book, an audiobook, and I think that's right.
Yeah, I never liked that part. I didn't understand. I didn't get it. It's like, I understand the forces out there, but being powerful enough to somehow give a fleet an advantage, I didn't.
Yeah, I
didn't really
never
understand that.
understood that whole mind control through the Force thing. I never got
No.
into that. I never liked that. I also hope they steer clear of the whatever those creatures are, the Salamari or whatever they're called.
Yeah, the
I have a feeling they're going to
possums or
use that
whatever they
though,
are.
because the Force is a awfully hard thing to ride around, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it
and
is.
that's why they came up with those in
Yeah,
I
the
called them
Force, they have
salamis.
somehow the ability to dampen the Force or something, and they can
Yeah.
protect
Yeah,
people.
they're a
Yeah.
living thing that creates a void in the Force, which again to me made no sense. If they're a living
Yeah,
thing,
how
they're
are
part
they
of the Force. But they claimed they claimed that they came from a planet where these creatures use the Force to hunt them. So they came up with an
A natural defense
anti-Force
to it. Yeah.
field. I'm using a lot of puns here, but so and of course Thrawn just somehow put all these things together because he was super genius. So he had the
He was
salami
Wile E.
hanging.
Coyote for sure.
He built a little terrarium behind his throne and put the salami on it. And
Terrarium for salami.
yeah, and it'll fetch a very fine price. But, and then at one point, I think he threw Luke in a cell with a salami
Oh yeah.
on the door or something. And Luke was like, I can't feel the force. What's going on here? Luke was kind of a lot of times pretty clueless in the books because otherwise he was Superman. So they had to just
Yeah.
kind of ride
They
around
had to
him.
dumb him down somehow.
Yeah, dumb him down a little bit,
Right.
but sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it's like Thulsa Doom versus Conan. You know, either Thulsa Doom's got stuff to neutralize Conan, Conan never gets near, or Conan just hacks through everybody and hacks Thulsa Doom to pieces. I mean, there's it's hard to come up with the things that'll Thulsa Doom's got to use his brain or whatever. So Thrawn used the salami. But yeah, I always thought that was a little bit of a couple of plot devices that I didn't particularly care for too much, but it was just trying to explain, like, how could the Empire have any kind of fighting chance at this point, you know?
Yeah.
And my whole question is, who would want the Empire around? Like, once they're on the run, how in the world do they rally? Because it seemed like the whole galaxy was sick of them and was participated in their overthrow. And the books and stuff, there were people who chose to live under the Empire still, and they became the Imperial Remnant. It was almost like they democratically chose. Yeah, we like the order of the Empire. Right. I just don't see how that would happen in a widespread way. You know, it seems like that idea is over. The emperor corrupted the whole imperial idea to his thing. You can't have an empire without him, really. Without his, and he corrupted it. So any good that could have come from it had to be thrown out, you know, along with the bad, all the bad, I feel like. But, you know, it's just differences of opinion or whatever. But yeah, the fact that the book set it up where there was an imperial remnant that just kept going on and on, like people, and the Republic accepted it. They just let them have their imperial rule. But they didn't have like an emperor, I don't think. It just had Palayan was the leader, and an empire without heirs and stuff doesn't.
Well, the Imperial remnant that we saw in The Mandalorian looked like a real ragtag bunch.
It seemed like a real ragtag bunch of cutthroats going at each other.
Yeah, and they looked like they were kind of refugees running away from the New Republic or something.
Yeah, just getting what they could, trying to have their own little kingdoms, basically.
Yeah, barely surviving. And so how are they going to go from that to what you see in the sequel?
Yeah, can you imagine them saying, you know, Imperial Remnant assemble? They'd be like, you know, I just so happen you caught me on my Star Destroyers are all being overhauled.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they'd come rushing to
right now.
Yeah, I don't think they come rushing to each other's defense or anything. So that's what I'm curious to know about. Is like, how are they going to rebuild an empire and a philosophy that galvanizes people? And then you've also got in the future lurking the First Order, whose whole army is based on forced conscription of kids and stuff, which is heinous. You know, I mean, that is, yes, even going further into where I don't know how in the world people would cooperate with that.
Yeah.
So, and how did the Republic let that stand? You know, they were like, Leia had to form her own resistance because the Republic wouldn't do anything. Well, I mean, these people are stealing children. And forcing them to be soldiers, and then coming at you, and you're still not gonna do anything about it. Whole thing is really weird. But
there are a lot
I just wish we didn't have that hanging over our head. I wish we didn't have that hanging over our head anymore. They really need to find the world between worlds and just have anybody show up and say, "Oh, many futures you see. Some."
Here's a better written one.
Some are all are very valid. They are, believe in them you can. Like them, some you will, like some you will not. Dwell upon those that you like. Something, just endorse it, please, that we don't have to just be married to this stupidity of the sequel trilogy.
So overall, I'm excited about the show. I am looking forward to Ahsoka, but that trailer did nothing for me. That's just, you know, I like the other two trailers. This one just, I don't know. This one just seemed kind of like,
it was a hype video.
Point of that.
Yeah.
What's that?
It was a little hype video. It was a little hype video. Short attention span.
It was only like 35 seconds too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It was all about the soundtrack effects. You know, hey, get pumped, here it comes, you know, and then we're going to have 5 episodes of them walking around and 1 episode of them fighting.
Right.
What's gonna happen? Dun, 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 dun. What do we do now? Well, we need this engine part before we can leave Lothal.
Let's walk over there.
Yeah. Surely we'll meet some interesting character that will guide us on our way. And then we will meet some other type of character in miniature.
In miniature.
I still think though that I know it can't be, but I think that Inquisitor is Ezra for some reason. And
I
it
don't
makes
think
no
so.
sense because I don't know what an Inquisitor would be doing with Thrawn, why he would take on the guise of an Inquisitor.
No.
But I can't help thinking there's a mask on that character for a reason. Maybe it's just to use a stuntman, without having to worry about anything. But
You're wrong.
or stunt woman.
You're wrong.
You are wrong. No.
You're wrong.
No, you are wrong.
I still think it's Barris.
Only now at the end.
Yeah, I think it's Barris Offee.
It should be nobody. Stupid Inquisitors with their helicopter blades. I hope he flies. I hope he just hovers all around like a boss from Sonic the Hedgehog level. Just hovers around with his helicopter, throwing force stuff at Ahsoka. Fight.
Fight.
And I am excited for this though. My husband and I have been rewatching Mandalorian, and we've gotten right to the point where we're at the Jedi episode that introduces Ahsoka. So I think we're going to watch that right before the new series comes out. So that'll
Nice.
be fun.
That was a great episode. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the best they did. So hopefully this series will. I don't see problems with it, but we don't have very much that we know from the trailer. So hopefully this one will be as good.
I can't
as
really
the
guess at the
Mando.
plot too much,
I don't know.
except what they threw us in that one episode where she's looking for Thrawn and bringing back that character.
Yeah.
And it's weird because they've done some dancing around the timeline, so we don't know. We assume that this is after the Jedi episode, but it may not be.
Right.
So yeah, that magistrate character may end up a prisoner on that planet. That may be the last place we see her. And her scenes in this may take place before that or something.
Right. I've heard that speculated a couple of years ago, actually, even when the first Ahsoka episode aired on Mandalorian. Some people were saying that, oh, we think that actually happened before the finale that we saw on Rebels, stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
So the timeline could be not quite what we're assuming here.
Has the timeline actually been published officially? Has
I
the
don't think so.
timeline been officially published for the show? Have they officially announced when it's supposed
I
to be?
don't think it's anything official, no. But I think everybody's general consensus seems to be that it's obviously it takes place at the same time in the Mandalorian, the Mandalorian's going on. So it's all
It
still
has to
roughly
be
5 to 7 years after Return of the Jedi at this
This
point.
has to be 10 to 14 years after Rebels, because
Yeah.
Sabine isn't that much older. I don't know how old they were supposed to be in Rebels, maybe 16?
I think they were teenagers.
Probably late teens.
Maybe
early 20s.
getting close to 18 by the time the series ended.
Probably, yeah.
So another
Late
10 years
teens.
would make them 28. If you get much beyond that, she's looking really young for 30 there.
Right.
And she looks more like she's 24, 25.
Yeah, but Bo-Katan, aged really well.
No,
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
Hera
Like,
looks exactly the
like-
same. Of course, the ultimate guide is the child, is Kanan and Hera's child. If that kid is 8, then it's been 8 years. If the kid is 10, it's been 10 years. I mean, I don't know how they keep all that straight. It's because Luke goes anywhere from
Did the
17 to
Borgullet-
30 years old when he's on Tatooine.
Did the Borgullet
Looks like
tell
I'm
us
going
we were
nowhere.
gonna
I'm
see-
35.
Did the Borgullet tell us we're going to see Kane and Jared?
Did the Borgullet tell us
Yes,
what?
I think it did. Yeah.
We're going to see Kanan.
Yeah,
But the Borgullet
I think the
refused
Borgullet
to-
said that,
Gullet
yeah.
was all about all the Jedi stuff. Yes, we're
Yeah.
gonna see every
Yeah.
Jedi that there is.
Yeah. And just for the record, I looked up the actress playing Sabine, Natasha Leo Bordizzo, and she's 28.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, seems like she's playing a younger storyline than that, but
Yeah, I think
doesn't
so
really
too.
mean anything.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
All right. Well, I'm
I'm
interested.
looking forward to it.
Let us know what you think about the new trailer in the comments.
I think the first
And,
3 episodes are going to be about her art gallery opening.
Yeah, her new
It's gonna
painting.
go, yeah, all the different aliens coming to see her art and stuff.
Probably should be exciting. Maybe that'll be the
It'll be
2-episode
great.
premiere.
Then there'll be a heist episode where they steal her art. And they have to go find it.
Right. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next week. Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time.
Take it easy.
Peace. And Gundar just laughs. Oh, these silly sods I'm working with.
Yes.
How did I get roped
Silly
into this?
sods.
It's like,
Silly sods.
I thought it'd be different if I waited a while and then came back.
Right? They would have gotten out of the system.